Lionel Messi is without doubt one of the finest footballers of all time. His dribbling, passing and decision making have been virtually without peer in world football for more than a decade, not to mention the absurd number of goals that he has scored. But today's video is not an ode to one of football's all-time greats, I've already made one of those if that's what you're after, but rather, it is me taking on a challenge set by subscriber Popescu in the comments not long ago, who requested that I take a look at 7 teams with wage budgets smaller than Messi's annual salary. I suspect this comes in light of lots of talk surrounding Messi's pay packet and Barcelona's dire financial situation, and the figure I'll be using for Messi's salary is taken from the recent El Mundo leaks, which claimed that the diminutive Argentine is earning an annual salary of £163 million from Barcelona once all loyalty and sign-on bonuses are taken into account and split across the 3.5 years that the deal covers. Of course, I've no way of knowing if that is Messi's real salary. Initially, I found it hard to believe, but the leaks have been treated as pretty gospel within the Spanish press. As for club wage bills, well, they are much easier to source. Every club publishes annual accounts, so I just sifted through a handful of top teams to see who has a wage bill smaller than Messi's alleged salary. Naturally, there were many more than 7, so I tried to pick out the most interesting examples, and I'll reel off some honourable mentions towards the end. Here are 7 football clubs with wage bills smaller than Lionel Messi's supposed annual salary. Ajax. This one probably won't come as a great surprise to a number of you, since Ajax are renowned these days for the fine work they do on a modest budget. In Champions League terms, not so much, within the Eredivisie. Ajax's wage bill actually skyrocketed as per the last set of accounts published for 2019, which is likely to have been a consequence of significantly higher performance-related bonuses given the team's performances in the Champions League, along with the arrivals of Dusan Tadic and Daley Blind in the summer of 2018. The end result is that Ajax's wage bill shot up from €53 million in their 2018 accounts to €92 million in their 2019 accounts. Adjusted for pounds, since that's the figure I gave Messi's reported salary in during the introduction, that is just under £80 million at the current exchange rate, so still less than half of what Barcelona are alleged to be paying Messi. It's also important to note that all of the wage bills stated in this 7 are not just for players, but managers, coaches, and all backroom staff as well. Despite their miserly wage expenditure in comparison to Barcelona, Ajax have reached the semi-final stage of the Champions League as many times as the Catalan Giants over the last 5 years, and they have actually reached a European final more recently than Barca, albeit it was the Europa League final, and they lost to Manchester United. Dusan Tadic is reportedly Ajax's highest earner at this moment in time, with a reported annual salary which is less than Messi is claimed to earn in a single week. Porto. From the champions of the Netherlands to the champions of Portugal, Porto have only failed to qualify for the Champions League twice during the last 25 years, and they've won the tournament once during that time. The dominant team from Portugal's second city, Porto are one of Portugal's traditional Big 3, and in all-time terms, they are the nation's second most successful club, narrowly trailing Benfica. According to the most recent set of financial accounts, published in 2020, Porto's payroll expenses totaled €82.9 million, or £71.5 million, down from over €91 million in 2019. That drop-off is likely due to 1 or 2 high earners leaving the club in the summer of 2019, such as Eder Militao, Felipe, Yacine Brahimi, and Hector Herrera. Having secured their first Portuguese Primeira Liga title since 2011 last season, in unusual COVID-related circumstances, Porto are struggling to mount a serious title defence so far this term. That is largely due to Sporting Club de Portugal's quite remarkable start to the season, unbeaten in their opening 20 league games with 17 wins and 3 draws to their name. That leaves a 10-point gap between Sporting in top spot and Porto in second, which will be hard to make up over the next few months. Porto's highest earner, perhaps somewhat surprisingly, is reported to be birthday boy Pepe, who turns 38 today, or yesterday depending on when this video goes up, and was known for his rather robust attempts to stop Messi during his time in Spain. Leicester City. There were a number of Premier League teams that I could have included, but with Leicester City in 3rd place in English football's top flight at the time of this recording, trailing only the 2 Manchester clubs, they seem like as good of a shout as any. A little like Ajax, Leicester's wage bill saw a steep increase as per the last set of accounts. The Foxes now have the 8th highest wage bill in the Premier League, roughly on par with Tottenham and Everton, though for a team currently sitting in 3rd place, that doesn't seem like bad value. Leicester's total wage expenditure jumped from £119 million in 2018 to £150 million in 2019, meaning they have the 2nd highest wage budget of any team in this 7. Leicester's fine form during the first half of this season is largely reminiscent of the excellent start they made last season when they looked to be Liverpool's closest competitors for the title for a short period of time. Brendan Rodgers' men ultimately suffered something of a collapse post-Project Restart, and they will be keen to avoid any such drop-off this season. Rodgers himself is reportedly the 2nd best paid individual at the King Power Stadium, said to be out-earning the likes of James Maddison, Yuri Tillman and Kasper Schmeichel. The Fox's highest earner, though, apparently, is Jamie Vardy, with an annual salary that equates to almost as much as Lionel Messi is said to earn in 3 weeks. Leicester face Arsenal either today or yesterday, again depending on when this video goes up, before a juicy trio of games, giving them every chance of going into the penultimate month of the season with an outstanding chance of a top 4 finish. RB Leipzig. Only 2 teams in German football have wage bills in excess of Lionel Messi's reported annual salary, and I will let you take a wild stab at guessing which 2. I've given you a decent clue by ruling out RB Leipzig, who currently find themselves in 2nd place in the Bundesliga table, just 2 points behind Bayern Munich at the time of this recording. The energy drink endorsing and owned East German franchise, who are many people's 2nd team in Germany, have enjoyed a meteoric rise since the Red Bull Group acquired the playing rights of 5th tier outfit SSV Markranstrad and renamed them RB Leipzig back in 2009. 4 promotions in only 7 seasons secured Leipzig's spot in the Bundesliga back in 2016, and since then, the club has never finished lower than 6th. They lost their talisman Timo Werner over the summer to Chelsea, and a lack of goals is the reason why they will miss out on the Bundesliga title to Bayern, but they still have the best offensive record in the league. Leipzig's wage expenditure has seen steep increases season upon season, particularly from 2018 to 2019, as the club looks to establish themselves in Germany's top flight. Salaries grew from €53.7 million in Leipzig's 2018 accounts to €87.5 million as per their 2019 accounts. A hefty rise, but still nothing like the kind of money El Mundo alleges that Messi earns on his own. Lille. The first current league leaders in this 7 since Ajax, at least at the time of this recording. If you weren't aware of it, there is quite the title race going on in Ligue 1 at the moment. Whilst the Premier League title seems to be wrapped up already, there's a fantastic 4-way race to the title going on over in France between Lille, PSG, Lyon and Monaco. You won't be particularly surprised to discover that PSG have by far the largest wage budget of the quartet, and they are actually the only French team with a wage bill exceeding Messi's supposed salary. PSG's wage bill actually accounts for over a quarter of Ligue 1's total wage expenditure, and it is more than double any other team in the league. I picked Lille for this 7 since they have by far the lowest wage budget of any of Ligue 1's current title challengers, and among the lowest in this entire 7. According to their 2019 accounts, Lille's total wage bill was just €72 million, which is less than a fifth of PSG's wage expenditure. And yet, at this moment in time, Lille sit 4 points ahead of the Parisians in the Ligue 1 table, a powerful endorsement of the work being done by Christophe Galtier, his players and his staff. The best paid player at Lille is reported to be Portugal's Euro 2016 star, Renato Sanchez, on just over £50,000 a week. Based on those figures, and El Mundo's figures for Messi, that would mean that it takes the Argentine just 3 hours to earn as much as Sanchez does in an entire week. Sevilla. Perhaps the most apt inclusion in this entire 7, and the only Spanish side to feature, Sevilla leapfrogged Barcelona in the La Liga table just last weekend, climbing into 3rd whilst Barca sit in 4th. Despite having been put to the sword by young Erling Haaland at home in the Champions League, Sevilla are in a sensational run of form in the league. 6 wins on the bounce makes Sevilla the league's form team, and it's a run which has been built upon the joint best defensive record in the division. Sevilla have conceded the same number of goals this season as Diego Simeone's famously ironclad backline at Atletico Madrid, which is no small feat. Under the guidance of former Spain and Real Madrid boss Julian Lopetegui, Sevilla finished 4th in La Liga last season, in addition to winning yet another Europa League. They look set to repeat that trick in the league this season, despite operating on a shoestring budget in comparison to their nearest rivals. They'll need to pull off something quite spectacular away to Dortmund in order to salvage their season in Europe. Sevilla have the 6th highest wage bill in La Liga at just €92 million as per their 2019 accounts. That's less than a fifth of Barcelona's wage bill, who they're currently one place above in the La Liga table, and it's even less than the likes of Athletic Bilbao and Valencia. AC Milan. Perhaps the most striking inclusion in this 7, and also the team with the highest wage bill in this 7, I suspect by the next set of accounts, AC Milan will have overtaken the amount that El Mundo claims Barcelona pay Messi in terms of their overall salary expenditure. The league leaders in Serie A for so much of this season, AC Milan have recently slipped down into 2nd place behind their neighbours Inter, and though they have suffered something of a wobble, they're still enjoying a season beyond most people's expectations. AC Milan's 2019 accounts showed a wage bill of €184.8 million, up from €160.9 million in 2018. Converted to pounds, that's just shy of £160 million, meaning it is also just shy of the amount El Mundo alleges that Barcelona pays Messi. For 7-time European champions, currently fighting for the Serie A title, that is a pretty staggering set of data. The 2 highest earners among the red side of the San Siro at this moment in time, it is reported, are Gianluigi Donnarumma and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, both said to be earning close to £200,000 a week. Whilst those are the 7 teams that I picked out, in truth, it is obviously much easier to name clubs who have larger wage bills than Barca pay Messi than those who don't, since they are so plentiful. By my count, only 15 teams meet that criteria, or 16 if you include Barcelona themselves. Outside of the 7 featured, I could have included the likes of Real Sociedad, West Ham, Atalanta, Wolfsburg, Eintracht Frankfurt, Bayer Leverkusen, Lyon, Monaco, and so many more. But hopefully, you enjoyed the 7 that I focused on. Thank you all as ever for watching. Hit that like button if you did enjoy the 7 that I featured. You know you want to. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and make sure that you are subscribed and have notifications turned on for HITC Sevens. You can also find me on Twitter or Instagram, or indeed both, by the username @HITC Sevens on both, should you wish to do so.